Hi, and welcome to an episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about arrows and safety. But I'll get that here in just a moment. But again, thank you for watching my videos. I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that share button, that like button, and make those comments down below. So while I'm talking, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share my videos with your family and friends. I greatly appreciate it when you do that. And of course, make that comment down below. Because I guess without YouTube, it uh, helps with the algorithm things and stuff like that. And also remember, you can also send me an email at utahcrossbowhunter.com. And also you can visit my website at www.utahcrossbowhunter.com. And on there you'll find, again, a few photos, all the equipment that I use, and the also all my videos. Now I don't keep my videos up that much. I try to, but I get busy with other things and I forget to do it. So I greatly, hit. So you always, if you're looking for a specific video, you can always go down into my website and look it up, and there's a link right to it. So that said, let's get into today's show. Again, we're talking about arrows and safety. Now, I've already gave you guys the death of fingers video. That's part one. This is part two, and then part three is going to be about the anti-dry fire. And the anti-dry fire video will bring everything together, I hope. So, excuse me. With arrows and safety, there's a lot of components to arrows and how they perform with your crossbow. There's different, you have the shaft links, you have the weight, you have the nocks, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's get into arrow size, or I should say arrow length. Okay, they come in 16, 18, and 22. So 16, 18, 20, 20, yeah, 22. The most common arrows are the 20 and 22 inch arrows. Now, as far as 16-inch arrows, Excalibur, I believe, is the only one that uses 16 and a half inch arrows. I could be wrong. If I am, just let me know down in the comments. But they go with their crossbows. So if you have a 16 and a half inch arrow, do not use a 16-inch arrow. Why? Because there's going to be a weight difference. Okay, the weight is going to be a little bit lighter. And what happens was, and this is just my opinion, the length of the arrow, which is also weight-wise, can go a lighter arrow, which could cause limb failure. But is that the only cause of limb failure? I don't think so. It might be a manufacturer, a defect in the limb, or a problem with the string, or something like that. So there could be, multiple factors in there. But most of the failures that I have seen have been to the arrow weight. Okay, so always look at your manufacturer's suggested weight on your arrows and the length. Now again, if you're using, you can use a 20-inch arrow in a 16-inch. But the thing to remember with weight, it's going to decrease your speed of your arrow. Okay, so if you're shooting, say, a 360 foot per second crossbow that has a 16-inch arrow or 16 and a half inch arrow, and you put a 20-inch arrow in there, it could drop it down to low as 300 feet per second. So you got to keep that in mind. Okay, but the thing with heavier arrows, they do have a lot more kinetic energy with that. So you want to keep that in mind, because we want speed with kinetic energy. And you got to remember too, when you look at these crossbows, if you look at the boxes or the manufacturer suggested stuff, it says up to that speed. Okay, is that false advertisement? I don't know. That's something that's not in my realm of expertise. Whatever expertise I have, it's not in there. So with that, uh, just keep that in mind. Now, usually, again, we have to look at the manufacturer stuff. It may say 200 grain arrow, may say 300 grain arrow. It may say with a 200 grain arrow with a 100 grain tip, or a 300 grain arrow with a 100 grain tip. You got to look at that stuff and understand that the weight of that. A lot of them will say 300 grain arrow, which is the weight of the actual arrow, and with a 100 grain tip, it may say 500 grains or 400 grains. So keep that in mind, okay? Whatever your manufacturer, do not go below the manufacturer's suggested weight on the arrow, okay? Again, because we could cause a limb failure. Because you're thinking, well, I'm not getting my 400 feet per second, so I'll go to a lighter arrow, and boom, what happens? Your limb breaks, and you go, why? Okay? Because crossbows, with their strings, and the way they shoot, they're made for that type of arrow, the heavier arrow. So just keep that in mind. Because I have some that are 474 grains, I have some that are 400 grains. They're just different, for them are different crossbows. So always keep that in mind. Because again, as far as 18-inch arrows, you're probably not going to find that many 18-inch arrows out there that are .001, most of them are 005, or they're made in China, and they're awful arrows. And I gotta say that because I've had some I ordered from China, and it's a slow boat from China to get here. So when I've got those arrows, they were just totally bad. They had a lot of wobble in them. They didn't shoot straight. So there's just a lot of issues with those. So the most common arrows are going to be the 16, 20, and 22 inch. Okay. So because remember, you got to keep this in mind with speed. You want to keep a speed, but you also want the kinetic energy. Okay. Just to give you an example, and I've done a little bit of research on this, and what's the thing called jumping the string. The things I've noticed when I've talked about it in other videos that I've seen, when a deer's head is down feeding, their ears are way up there. It seems like they're more alert for sound. So when they pop, when you pop your crossbow, they may jump the string. When they say jump the string, they actually will drop their front end and their hind legs. They'll drop. Okay. So should you anticipate that and shoot lower? That's going to be up to you, but I'm going to say no. Okay. But most of the time, if your deer's head's up, their ears might be down a little bit, so they might not be as alert. They may be using more of their eyeballs than they are their ears. So, but again, that's stuff that we learn as we go. So let's keep that in mind. Now, as far as nocks, there are 3 different types of nocks. There's the flat knock, half moon knock, and the Alphanock. Now, we all know that the flat knock is just simple. It's flat, okay? And you can use any vein down. But with that, you might decide to do what's called tuning and shoot one number your fletchings and see which one shoots the straightest. That's up to you. If you want to take the time to do that. Most of us know what a half moon knock is. That's the most common knock that is out there. And then there's the Alphanock that I believe just Wicked Ridge and 10 Point use, and we all know that 10 Point owns Wicked Ridge. And so they use the Alphanock, I believe, since 2019, 2020, something like that. But I'm going to let 10 Point explain the Alphanock to you. It's just a 2 minute and 46-second video that I'm going to show you guys. And I'm going to apologize for the audio that's going to be on there. I have to use my microphone. For some reason, I can't get my video or my audio onto this track here. So without any further ado, let me cue this up and let you watch that video on the Alphanock.
10 Points Alphanock and Alpha Bright System. Through the years, Crossbow designs averaged greater than 15 inches wide when cocked to the current 7-inch average width. The string angles have become more acute on modern crossbows, and as a result, 10 Point recognized the need for a new style of crossbow knock. Designed specifically for 10 Point's ultra-narrow crossbows, the revolutionary Alphanock increases string-to-knock engagement by 28%. Its unique design consists of a deep bowstring groove, a large smooth radius base, and elongated ears, all critical components in making it the most accurate crossbow knock on the market. The string on 10 Point's extremely narrow crossbows wraps tightly around the Alphanock and is held firmly in place throughout the shot by the knock's elongated ears, yielding straight knock travel and precision downrange accuracy. In addition, the deep groove and large radius base holds the bowstring in place on extremely narrow crossbows to prevent shoot-over or shoot-under misfires. The Alphanock's concave and convex design allows the string to find the center line of the arrow, reducing string serving wear and yielding consistent arrow launch and arrow splitting accuracy. The Alphanock system consists of a knock receiver pre-mounted in the arrow and designed to accept the shape of the Alpha Knock. Converting your arrow over to the lighted Alpha Bright Knock system is easy. Simply insert the LED unit, lighted end first, into the peg end of the translucent Alpha Bright Knock, and insert the knock and LED unit into the receiver. Insert the knock tabs between the receiver's locking clicks until you hear or feel it click into place. When you fire your crossbow, the bowstring's force will compress the two pieces, eliminate the gap, and activate the LED. Deactivation is also easy, as you simply remove the knock and LED unit and pull the lighted end of the LED unit until the light turns off. Alpha Knocks are now required for use on all crossbows in 10 Point's lineup and are included in all 10 Point branded crossbow model packages. Additionally, you can now purchase arrows with the Alpha Knock or the Alpha Bright lighted knock system pre-installed.
Okay, so that's just a little bit of video on the Alphanock from 10 Point. Again, they also use those on the Wicked Ridge crossbows for the narrow crossbows. So they seem pretty neat. But the thing about it is I know you can order the knocks, the Alphanocks from them, and probably on eBay and what's that other one? Amazon. Or from different stores. You can probably order those. But again, here's another thing we got to remember too, to put everything in perspective, is the inner and outer diameter. Okay, you may get a 16-inch that has a 245 inner diameter and what 300 outer diameter. I don't know how exactly the size of the Alphanocks. So you got to remember when you're ordering, say you don't want to use the 10 Point arrows, but you want to use, say, Black Eagle or a Gold Tip, which the other ones that I use, we got to make sure that the inner diameter is the same for your knocks. So we got to make sure that is that's all good. So inner and outer diameter. I've got some that the inner diameter is less than what I have for my lighted nocks, no, my nocturnal nocks. They won't fit in there. Even though they're adjustable, they're just not. They just don't go in. There's just a little bit too big. Too big for them. So you got to keep that in mind too. So when you're ordering the nocks, let's say the inner diameter is 0.300. That's going to be a tight fit if you go with a 300. So the best bet is to go something slightly smaller so that'll fit in there. But as far as the insert that the United Lock goes into on those, you have to glue those in. Okay, they're not like your normal ones where you can just sit there and spin them and just to set it up. You got to make sure everything is precise the first time around when you're putting it on another arrow. Because I know, like with my gold tips, my 22-inch arrows, my nitros, the inner diameter is smaller than my 20-inch. So my lighted nocks won't go on those. Okay? So you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind when it comes to that. Okay? So again, this is just a kind of a breakdown of arrows and arrow safety. Because again, just to recap here, do not go below your manufacturer's suggested weight of your arrow. Okay? Use the correct nock that comes with your crossbow. Don't say, okay, I'm not getting my 400 feet per second, so I'm going to lighter arrow, and you have a limb breakage. You're going to be extremely upset. You're going to be not mad because the arrow, but what you're going to be mad is the manufacturer, the limb broke because it was a bad crossbow, and I've seen that on videos, but when in fact it was due to the arrow weight. Okay, and I think that's the most of the problem, is shooting with a lighter arrow than you should be, because you want to get that speed. So again, if you have any questions or anything, hit me up in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to help you out with anything. Shoot me an email or whatever. And again, thank you for watching Utah Crossbow Hunter. And remember, family first. Take care of your family. By all means, get out there and hunt. And see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter. And thank you.